Okay, got it. Recording. Sweet. Okay, so kind of back to my work here. This place. Oh my god, what the heck was that? What? Oh, that's what it was. All right, my Oh my gosh, that gave me such a scare, and I am not even done building this thing yet. But yeah, it's my island for the Halloween contest that the devs are doing here. And yeah, I'm just kind of like, going through some stuff here, trying to figure out how some of the floor plans are going to be, some of the other internal workings here, like what I'm going to use this area for, like a little balcony, like right up here, and a kitchen thingamabobber. Oh my gosh, my nose. Get some other stuff right there, and just try to make this, like a little bit spooky, like with all the green stuff like right here to make it look like ectoplasm and stuff, from like the ghost trying to pop out of the ground to escape this little confined area. Because I figured, you know, uh, there's a lot of inspiration that I got from like different places where, like from the movie The Nun, the scary movie that recently came out as part of the Conjuring series. There was one part of the movie where they had like all these crosses, like around the old what do you call it? It's not a cemetery. I mean, it has a cemetery, but it's called something specifically, like a mortuary or something like that. But anyways, they had all these crosses all around the general facility, right? Just to kind of keep whatever evil demon apparition thing like enclosed, so that way it couldn't escape. That's kind of what I was thinking here, just to give it a little bit of that spooky feel, and then with these gigantic skulls, I was just thinking like, like how awesome would that be if like you saw something like that just like pop out of the ground. Uh, but yeah, like something else that I added on top of that is just, like if you go in there, actually, let me get it from like a person perspective thing, because I was trying to get like all these crosses, like to size or to shape, but then I figured, I guess it's not gonna be too bad. I mean, like the way that they are now, it's like I think they're like a fair size, and I guess with the rocks, it's just kind of like an enclosed place, and you can start to see, some of the corruption, the ectoplasm start to ooze out, like the barrier, it's like not holding up as much, which is why you see like these two big dudes just like popping out of the ground like the way that they are. Oh, but before I go in here, something else that I thought was kind of cool to add is, like a little open nose, you can kind of climb in here, and then, oh my gosh, like there's a data core, like instead of like seeing all like the gushy like brains and all this other stuff, it's like, okay, like Notch's power, look inside the big skull dudes' heads, there's one for each of them, and I'll just go over here to the other guys so that you can also see. I gotta practice on my grappling a little bit more. You can kind of go into the eye sockets and all that other stuff. I thought, why not? Like try to make it a little bit more fun, because it's something that I really noticed a lot about World of Drift is like, yeah, you've got like all these like really intricate islands and stuff where they have like entire cities or towns, where they've got a few buildings that you can actually go into, but from some other buildings and all this other stuff is just like enclosed, like you can't get into it. There's like, no possible entryway, for you to explore that whole building, so to speak. And that's kind of what I wanted to do here. Make every little bit of it, explorable as possible. So the other mouth of the skull also has this too, where you're kind of like going in and you're just wondering, like, okay, like, what's going on here? And so if you go in through the left, there's like this little elevator, fridge house thing that goes up to the main floor, and then you're coming in here like, oh my god, is that like a hand? Like, the heck is going on? Like, did they like eat people here? Oh my god, there's like operating tails. Oh, the horror. Oh, no, Jesus Christ, they got people. They're eating people. And yeah, that's kind of like the whole gist of things that I was kind of going for, like all like torture devices here, and then all the body parts that they would like chop up and stuff, they just like hang it up like they were storing it in a meat locker, and like, with the little card that they would or I don't know, get from like up here, and it was like a little what do you call these things, like where they a morgue, right, where they store all the dead bodies and everything. Like if they were like fresh new arrivals and all this other stuff, or something along those lines, where they would carry them up into this fixture building here, and then they would use an elevator to drop it down, so on and so forth, blah blah blah. Uh, and then I also added like those little buttons because it's like boop, and then yeah, just kind of trying to add a little bit more detail here and there. It's like still haven't quite gotten to how they would transport it, from like the upper level and the lower levels. Like maybe have like another railing system like they got over here, that I they bleh, added like right here, just kind of put off to the side or something, or yeah, like maybe even like right here or something. Like kind of touching from like this point and going down and just kind of make this like the centerpiece, I guess. I don't know. But that's kind of what I was thinking for this bottom part. Uh, and then yeah, like because this part goes to the one that was the skull on the right, and before up here I actually had a little stairwell coming down, like as a secret entrance. But the thing is that it was like literally right next to the front entrance, like, kind of like a basement sort of deal. So it's like, oh yeah, like anyone can just like wander into that. But I figured, what's the fun in that? Like you're kind of thinking like, oh okay, like this is a nice, mansion house thing, coming in. You're just wondering like, okay, like what's so spooky about this place, besides the two skulls, right? So you're kind of looking at it like from here. Maybe I should add a couple more walls, just for extra effect to give it that kind of mansiony feel. Like how some mansions would have like this huge like wall enclosing like their entire estate, space, land thing. So yeah, you're coming into the front entrance right over here. And you're just like, oh my god, like all the green ectoplasm. It's like, oh, I wonder what happened here. Hoo-ah. And I try to put as much detail as I can into this, without all the stuff, buildings kind of like overlapping, and try to make it as straight as possible. Like those two guys right there. My God, it's driving me crazy with this. Because the other thing that I wish that they would kind of like add a little bit more to, as far as like tools, for island creators to kind of like, auto straighten stuff. You literally have to um, like angle everything just right, so that way it all kind of like ties in and like fits into place. But then there are little instances like here, where you kind of like, things are popping out, so, or some other stuff where it's like kind of angled off a little bit wrong when it's like coming on slanted. But I think for a good majority of things, if you're coming here with a group of friends, you're just kind of exploring little places here and there. It's, I guess you kind of get distracted that you really don't pay too much attention to like all the little details here and there. Uh, yeah, I'm kind of looking at this part now, and I'm just thinking like maybe I should have just added one wall and then just like make it one complete thing. Because now like I'm starting to regret my decision a little bit. It's like yeah, that. But yeah, anyways, this is kind of like the main entry room way. Like earlier down there, you saw, I guess, what would be considered a kitchen, and then with the little meat locker, they would have it hoisted up, going up, so that way, in case if they ever needed any more, or they were in short supply, then they just go to their torture chamber, top up more bodies, and then bring it back, freeze it, bring it back up, and then store it again, just like that. But actually, maybe I should add like a little hatch or something, so that way it wouldn't be too obvious, I guess. Just kind of have it like open words or something. Is like another idea I was thinking of. Um, I was also gonna planning on putting like more lights into here, but I guess there's like a very finite amount that you're allowed to have, which is like 20 Kyoki lights or lights in general. So I don't know, like I figured I would try to save them, to add like some cool effects, Because earlier I had like four in here just for like the main ballroom place, just to add a little bit more lighting. But then I figured, oh, you know what? There's like some other ideas that I got in mind for it, which hopefully today I can kind of get around to it. But anyways, I'm just kind of going up these stairs, and this is another thing I was talking about, like just stuff poking out just drives me crazy, Like I kind of wish that they had like a little like cut tool where you can, uh, click like the inside of a building and just say like, okay, anything that's pointing out, coming into it, that's part of another object. You can snip it and then just make it like go away or something. And then you come out from the stairwell, you come in here to the right, and then there's like the main bottom where you can like see people, and you're like, oh my god, like that's like, oh, like people, oh, I'm like high tier, or like I'm royalty, like who are you peons, like I'm like blah blah, I don't know. And then yeah, I kind of figured that this room right here would be like, honestly, I thought that was gonna be like more of a closet. I think I might have to shrink down some of these walls because they are just so freaking tall. And even the doors, man, like that's kind of another thing that like you have some trouble with in the Island Creator, is that there's a real challenge for scaling things down to like normal size, like the size of people. Because I feel like I wanted to make these like endless hallways, like with a bunch of rooms, where uh, if you were getting like chased by like a ghost, and it would feel like, oh my god, like I'm running away. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be right after me. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to room. Oh, my trap. No, there's the back door. Wait, where is it? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Okay, I'm going to another room. Ooh, ooh. It just that kind of sort of feel to it. But yeah, I figured at that point then it's like, better just to add, a second floor here, which I'll do in a little bit. Because one thing that I thought would be kind of funny is like, you have one hallway, like in Scooby Doo, where they're kind of going like in between all the doors, like the monsters chasing them and everything. But then I thought, because this is a PvP game, I'm pretty sure that there's gonna be plenty of opportunities where somebody is like trying to kill you, with like a pistol, and they're just like shooting you up from like one end of the hallway or to another. Then, I wanted to add like more objects, to kind of give you cover, and then, give you a chance to like fight back, if you're good like with PvP and all this other stuff, or trying to make your last stand and all that stuff. And then maybe even just create like some other rooms where it's just like more enclosed, like maybe this would be one where I would have like, some kind of like loot crate, a basic loot pile of some sort. And then, as you climb higher and higher, there's gonna be more rooms and all this other stuff, where you can just go completely ham on somebody. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got going on right now, at least. And then what do you call it? Uh, uh, that's what I just remembered is the rooftops, because I don't know if Sabori also has it as well, but if you look down to your main tab, where are they? Runes? No, I don't need that. Double brain fart. Okay, so roofs. Alright, so roof pillars. Ooh, man, just starting to get gassy here. So yeah, like a good majority or practically all the rooftops are goddamn circles. Like there's not like a single like triangle or like a square kind of roof where it can make it easier to kind of give these guys like a little bit more cover. So I'm just trying to improvise as best as I can, with these rounded rooftops. Because like in this case, you know, I had to like overlay like a couple of these pillars actually. Uh, so that way there wouldn't be like any of these little holes coming out. Uh, you know, like that. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, then anyone would be able to get into them. Get in and out, and like having those little cracks. It just kind of annoys me a little bit, just because it's like it looks like it's like obviously like what do you call it? Uh, like inefficiently done, I guess is like the proper word to say. Uh, But yeah, so I'm kind of getting this one idea, where you can try and like stack the rooftops, like layer by layer. Uh, so yeah, right now I'm just about to start adding on a floor, to give it a little bit more feel to it, I guess. So we'll see how that goes here in a little bit. Um, and yeah, then we'll see how those rooftops come with like some additional rooms just to make it a little bit more fun. All right. So how are we gonna do this? All right. Okay, so that's one long piece. So I can just probably, yeah, I can probably like duplicate that, and then, because obviously no one's gonna go anywhere beyond that. Uh, yeah, maybe like make the main rooms, and then way up above I'll have like additional rooms, like a crazy amount, for like guests and all this other stuff, I suppose, or I don't know. But yeah, I'm just kind of wondering with the stairs here. Yeah, this is gonna be a little tricky. All right, well, we'll come to that here in just a bit. All right, where is everybody? And then yeah, obviously these guys, they gotta go up. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so what I'm doing is I am just pressing shift while I'm clicking everything here, and then that'd be okay. No, yeah, I think that would be okay. So I'm holding my left shift key, and then I'm just like selecting each and every one to do like a multiple selection of these guys. Uh, yeah, I think I might definitely have to duplicate that, or at least bring it in. All right, so here we go. We duplicate it using the duplicate option under your objects tab, and then oh hey, there's actually a shortcut. Okay, so you can just do Control D. And what I'm doing is I'm just gonna raise it up here a little bit. Uh, just kind of get a feel where everything is. God dang, these things are like really oversized though. Alright, you know what? Let's convert them all to a group. And what this will do is it'll allow you to move everything all at once. And what I mean by that is you have this ability, where you can do just that. Or if you break the group and you try to move it just the way that I did, then it's going to move all the pieces individually like that. So we're going to reset it like that. And then, because I think that tool is useful for a lot of things, but whenever you're trying to consolidate some of this stuff, it just starts to become a bit of a hassle, really. And the other thing that I wanted to do was get the doors to scale too, but then, when you come with your person, it's like, 2, 3 times their size. So I'm just like, alright. You know what? Oh, actually, back here. So what I know for sure is these squares.
Mic off.